This is the third part of the Ecozones GIS investigation. What we've done at this point was we've added two layers, the Ecozones layer and the Canada outline layer, and they both came from ArcGIS Online. Now we're going to add a layer in a different way, and it shows actually how smart this GIS program is. What we're going to do is add a layer from File. Now what's happened is that you will have been provided with an Excel file in CSV format, which simply lists some cities and a little bit of information about those cities in an Excel document. And we're going to bring it in. So we're going to hit choose file. Here it is. It's called cities.xlsx. No, that's the original one. I had to save it as CSV format first. So that's the one you have available to you. We've chosen that. Now we import layer. Now, this is where it gets really smart. If I say locate features by addresses or places, and it's got a column called name ing, which has the names of various cities in Canada. If I then click on this and say that's a city, when you see Toronto or Ottawa or Vancouver, recognize that as a city, it is smart enough to look around and say, I know that there is a city right here called Toronto, and there's a city right here called Ottawa, and so on. And it matches the places in my spreadsheet with the locations of those known places on the map. So if I click add layer, you can actually already see in the background that those dots have appeared on the map. You can see over here the cities have appeared. So I'm going to close this now, and you can see those cities are there. I can label them. Remember how to do that. Since I've got little red dots there, I'm going to go for red labels. I'll label them pretty small. And there they are. Now, another thing we can do with them is we can use symbols that are proportional to the population, because for these cities, the data we have is the population. It just happens to be what was entered into that database. So we can change the style here. So click on change style. I'll just do that again. Click on this, which is the change style. And choose the attribute I want to show. What do I want to map? I want to map the population of those cities. And then do I want counts and amounts by size? In other words, this is the default. You can see it's going to be different size dots for the population, or I could do it different colors for the different types of populations. I'm going to go with this one. And then I can click on options. There's a few different things I can do here. One of them is I can change the color. There's a few different options here. I'll stick with red. You can see this is kind of the gradation of cities. This is almost like a histogram. So it's saying we've got a lot of places of that size and a few places of that size and one place of that size. So it kind of shows the distribution of the different populations of cities. I can say what my minimum and maximum are. So if I want the smallest dots to be really small and the biggest dots to be, well, I can leave that the same way. That's all great. I can then classify the data. There's different ways of classifying the data. That's maybe for another time. Natural breaks is what they've used to look for natural gaps in the data. You can use equal interval, where everything goes up by the same number of thousands of people or whatever. Quantile means the same number of cities in each grouping. Manual breaks means you get to put them in yourself. I'm going to go with equal interval. You can choose how many classes. Right now we've got 4 classes. Let's make it 5 classes. So it's 5 different groupings of data, etc., etc. When I'm happy with all that, I hit OK, I hit done, and there you can see the Vancouver and Toronto, Ottawa, and Montreal. The label is actually a little off there. The label is over Montreal. When we zoom in, that gets better. So you can see that Toronto and Montreal have big dots, Ottawa, fairly small dot, London, Hamilton, St. Catharines, Windsor, smaller dots, and so on, proportional to their population.